Hello friends, this is Agnes from Agnescraft. Thanks for stopping by. Today we can discuss about framing our quill artworks at home using the ready-made frames that we get from the shop and instead of getting custom-made frames. Before going to the topic, this channel is all about quilling, stamping and card making. You can find tutorials, tips and tricks on these topics. So click subscribe and the bell icon to get updates on our new videos. So first, let us talk about how using a ready-made frame instead of custom frames, because custom frames, it's good in a way that we get it for any size we want and can do whatever color we want and things like that. But the ready-made ones are much cheaper than them. And first of all, I want to tell something that I'm not a professional or something. So this is what I have learned through my quilling journey of how to frame at home, possibly so that I can reduce my cost. I have previously done some custom frames and it took a long time to find a good custom framer at a reasonable price, but still the work is not up to the level that I really hated some pieces. It actually became so bad that the beauty of my work is just hidden because of the framing done. And when we get a framer, it is also good that the framer knows more about art rather than just being a framer, because only if they know what art it is, they can know how to give beauty to our work. And I have done so many things that are wrong and I have learned so many, and so I will be telling even some of the points which I have learned that I'm wrong, and so that it can help you in future to decide on your frames. And just remember, I'm not a professional, so I'm also still learning. I will just say whatever I have learned till now. So this framing is done at home. I actually used, this is not a shadow frame, so I have used two frames stuck together. So the first layer of white which you have seen, which you can see, is another frame. And because my work has more white space in it, and because I have also given additional matte finish with white, the work is not just showing out as it has to be. So actually I want to do another frame for this one and just waiting to get a good frame, and then I will put it again. So now I just save it because I just don't want to get any dust or something like that in, and I think this is more easy way for me to store instead of just putting one work above the other. Sometimes I usually have the works standing like this, one behind the other and not one above the other, so that they are safe, but still I think the frame holds it very well. And this one, the front part, sorry for the glare that you get, this white building is actually elevated than the other things here done here, so I want just more protection for this piece. This is another piece that I have framed at home. You can see the white mat and the work is done on a black frame, black background. It's really hard for me to get out of the glare from the glass, so that I'm holding it like this. Okay. So now let's go to the main topic. First, let us see the types of frame available. This is shadow box frame. I hope many of them will know, but still, for people who doesn't know, this is a shadow box, which means it has more depth. See, you can see my and go in. So it has so much depth, so that it is especially good for our quilling works, so that when we put them down here, the 3D effect from our quilling will be more focused. And also it has so many space, so that the glass and our work doesn't touch each other. When that happens to any artwork, even for any painting or whatever it is, when the glass and the work gets in contact, there is more chance of uh, fungus formation like that in future when some moisture gets inside. So it is always necessary to have the space between the glass and the work, any type of artwork. So it is obviously important in our quilling work also. So this is the shadow box, so that it has depth, and this one has glass above it, and it comes like this. So this one doesn't have a hook. Maybe if I wish, I can just buy one from a hardware store or something like that, a hook, and then screw it down. That's all. So then I will have this frame. Okay, the other thing is the ordinary frames. So this is an ordinary frame. It doesn't has any depth inside, but this can also be used for quilling. But make sure when you see in the back side of the frame, you can see a depth. This one is maybe, I think, some quarter-inch depth, so that for my works I usually do 3 mm work. So when I do that, this frame is really helpful. So even this doesn't have a hook, but it can be kept placed on table, and if I wish, I can just add a hook. So they usually come like this. So you have to move this one, and then you can use the space that we get from this frame. And this one, this is also an ordinary frame, but um, I don't have a glass or something above because it doesn't have depth. See here, it is just right. It is just, the backing is just in alignment with the frame, but in this one you can see the depth. So I can't use this for having my quilling work. So what I have done is I have just removed the glass and just placed it just like that. Even this is good, but the place where I live is okay, we don't get so much of dust. But in my hometown and in so many places, as you know, there is so much dust. You have to clean it daily. So it's not at all possible to have a quilling work and just hang them. Maybe in countries where you don't get so much of dust, it is possible to have them without a glass or something like that. Here it's okay, I don't want to clean it often, but still I have got some few very small dust like that. But still I often put it inside a cupboard or something like that, and then just grab it whenever I just want it. And the other thing which I wanted to tell is these small cap like things that come with the frames when I usually buy. I'm not sure, I guess every place will have this, I'm not so sure. So small pocket like things made of paper. Oh. So small pocket like things are usually available with the frames that we buy, and then it is always good to have them safe, because if you're going to send it for someone through mail, or if you're going to sell to a customer, while packing you can use the same things, put over the corners so that we don't hurt the corners and it travels safe. Well, the next point is having a glass. This is glass and this one is acrylic. So it's more like a plastic sheet. It is also called as organic glass. Let me show you. So see, it is slightly foldable. So this is acrylic and also called as organic glass. So if you are a person who likes something weightless and afraid of shipping, you can use this type of glass, and sometimes even the customers prefer them. And the glass, it's a bit heavy, so for shipping you have to think about this, and also for the safety while shipping. I have sent few, but only for within my country I have sent, and through courier, but they are safe. I think packing only does matters while sending frames, so that it's secure. Otherwise it won't get any problem, I guess so, because I haven't got any problem till now. And always make sure that your packing is tight enough and good enough. Maybe I will try to make a video on it sooner, so that I will let you know. And now the material used in frames. This is wood, just original wood. And even this is wood, but this is already painted white, so that it's easy to use. And this one, if you want to do some more works, like if you're going to do any decoupage work over it, this is so nice. But otherwise I have used this just like a trial piece for a year now, and then I checked how well it worked. So coming to the material, this is wood and real wood. This one is white and painted with, this is also wood, but it is painted with white. For this one, this is plain, so that you can just spray paint a clear acrylic spray, or you can just paint with black or white or any color which you wish. But otherwise I think I just kept it just raw, so that I can check it after a while. So it's about a year now, and what I have found is the color between here and this place, which is actually on which I had used tape and covered it, this place is darker than the front, so it has bleached. So it's always good to spray paint, especially this frame. I just learned that one. So if you're not sure of any frame that you get, and before selling or doing something like that, just make sure, check for its worth. This one is just good, but it also has acrylic, so it's not weighing. Sometimes if people wish that one, it's okay, and it is also cheap, and it is also real wood. But some of the frames are not actual wood, but they work well. So coming to our actual point, just straighten all these and then pull the backing out. We can go to learn how I make the frames. Make sure all the clips are open, and then pop it out. So this is the glass, and hope you can see the small dust like things that comes when they manufacture. So it's good to take a cloth, maybe a t-shirt cloth, and then just go round and round and in any direction, and just clean them. And you should do this on both the sides. And when finishing, also make sure that you put your hands, sorry for the glare, put your hands by the side. This is not sharp, but still it's good to be cautious. And make sure that your thumbprints doesn't go inside the frame or outside the frame. Just make sure it's really clean all the corners and everywhere on both sides, and check whether they are clear, really clear, so that it will show the real beauty of our work. And If it has even small dust, it won't be that appealing to the eyes. So when you're done with the glass, when you have really cleaned it well, you can just put this glass in, and even this one takes some time. Sometimes I feel like, oh, this is really time consuming. Okay, then the next thing we want to see is mat. So what is a mat? A mat is something like this, a sheet. This is actually I got from a store. Let me show you. So this is a mat. It usually comes thicker, and sometimes they have texture and all those things like that. And when I want to put my work in, I usually take some sheet. This is thinner, but because it is for just for my use. Otherwise I use a thicker one, maybe like 300 to 400 GSM for the backing, and then put my work up and then use a tape. This is not a safe tape. Actually, it's good to use a masking tape, and a good quality masking tape. Otherwise it will just give yellow colors. So just stick so that it doesn't show out, because my this work is really small. I have to fit in this frame, so I used the tape. So now it works just like that. Okay, I have put it upside down. Okay, so we for our work, it's also these mats actually gives the space between our work and the glass, especially if it is some painting or something like that. Or I have even seen photographs, some old photographs which have the mat on them. So actually they helps to give space between the glass and the work, so that the glass doesn't come in direct contact, and so the work is really fine without getting any fungus or something like that. And it is also good that this mat also should be acid free, so that it doesn't change color in due time. So what I do is I take a 300 or 400 GSM cardstock. Maybe if possible you get something more than that, so that it's strong enough, and then cut them to the size, because this one, this piece we will be closing in, because this is what holds the glass. So we need this one, and when we turn you can see them in the front. So in order to hide them, it is good to have a map over there, and also it gives a good look to our work. Okay, you could see that in this one, but this is I guess it's some 220 GSM or something, so it doesn't hold properly. So what I have done is I have used some artboard that I have cut into small pieces and put them all over again, so that it's firm enough to hold. And then this is actually something not for sale, it's for my own use. So this is just a learning curve. So this artwork, I just put it down, and even here you will learn what I have done wrong. I'll show you something like that. Okay, so this is an artboard, I guess its name is right. So this is white on one side and the back side is black. So I just had to remove this so that I can show you people. So I have glued it here using a tape. So here the masking tape will come to work. So I just put them out, and then put the sheet above, and also make sure it is bigger than this border of the frame, so that it comes out. And then we will be screwing it up, and then we will put a sticker I usually use this sticker, fabric sticker, and but not only the tape, because I'm not sure whether that will be holding so firm for a long time, so that it's better to use screws. I don't use nails, because nails are not like, maybe when we beat, we are actually having glass there, so it's not safe in a part. And also screw, it is easy to work with. And all these framing things I have learned from one friend here, a Malay friend. Before that, I was really confused of how to use a frame something like this, so that I can have it safe. She's the one, she does many custom works, and she have used it so long time, and she helped me to know that. So I was so grateful to her. Well, now coming to the negative point, this work, as I have said earlier, the framing and the work, because this is more like white, and I also have a white mat, so that when I see from afar, it's not that real beautiful. I mean, the work is not popping out. So what should be done is, maybe for this, because this is just only parchment paper I have used, just it would be good if I have a darker shade. So I have turned this black part, and now you can see the Santa popping out. Let me show you once again. And I have it like this. See, the Santa is white and the background is white. But when I turn, you can see the difference. And now when I put the frame with the white mat, the work really pops out. This is what should be considered when framing. This will all come just in our learning process, and mistakes are just common, so that we learn the next time. Okay, so now I then put the artboard here, and then I screw them up in all the four corners, and also make sure that you're going to frame, I mean, put the screw in the middle of this of this this part of the frame. Okay, otherwise you can see that it goes in. And as I said earlier, this is not a real wood. Oops, just a minute. Okay, you can see it's not real wood, but this is working as a frame so well. But this gets broken when we work towards a corner, so make sure that you screw in the center. And then always check what sort of material you buy, how much it is that efficient for you, cost effective for you, and is it really worthful, so that it can go so long. And also sometimes we have to think of how much we can afford, of course. So consider all those things and then just decide. And because I've changed the back one side, I can see my signature properly. Okay, so in this piece you can see the screws that I have added. This is this one. You could see my whole setup through that glass. Okay, so this is the other one. So I have used the fiber tape, and then I have added towards the corner. But this one, because as I have mentioned you earlier, this one has two frames. One is white behind, and this is the brown frame. So because there is two frames and I doesn't want my white to be shown off, I have just used the tape in the side. But otherwise it won't be good to have your tape towards the side, because it will be not good to see I mean, it will just hide the beauty of the frame. So it's always good so that you stick only on the back side, and then if you prefer, add a hook and use a screw to fix them so that it's safe and it can be hung. So that, and also if you use only the tape and then screw them, use a screw, and also the other thing, this is also said by my friend. She said that she usually put the screw over the frame border and not over this piece, because so that she's sure that it is fixed and it will be safe for any time. And also the other thing she said, she used screws because if the customer is going to change some other picture or some other work into the frame after some time, maybe they can just, because she does so many things for wedding, so if after a long time, if they doesn't want the work to be there hanged, and if they want the frame, they can just remove off the screw, and then they can change the work inside and use the frame. Let me check whether I have done everything. Okay, so that's it. So I guess, and when using your shadow boxes, just make sure that you clean the front and back of the glass very well. And then this is just so easy as that. Just put your work in and just put the backing like this, and then fold all these. Also make sure whether you have put it right on the right side. Okay, this is the right side. Don't put it upside down.